All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking real music in real time for a few real people out there, just like you and just like me. In fact, the realest episode of this particular show that you'll probably see this year, because I am counting down the top 20 melodic rock albums, according to me, for the year 2023. Now, this is my top 20. Yours is probably going to be different if you even pay attention to this stuff. And please, folks, watch the episode. If we're going to keep this music alive, and I've gone back and forth on whether I should even do this anymore, but I've been encouraged to keep going. So I need you to watch the videos. I need you to subscribe to the channel, donate to the channel, whatever you can do to help keep melodic rock alive, because I am purchasing these CDs myself, because on a couple of occasions here, CDs were sent to me, and I will acknowledge when that occurred. Unfortunately, the main record label here does not send out CDs as promos. So anyway, and they're dominating the top 20. So just put that out there. Even I'm wearing the t-shirt as well today. So a lot of free advertising for Frontiers music. All right, at number 20, let's start this list. Revolution Saints, Eagle Flight. Quite honestly, I was a little disappointed in this album, although with Dean Castronovo singing and some fairly decent production value, I'm not going to dump on it completely. I mean, it made the top 20, but when you're thinking Revolution Saints, you should be thinking top 3, right? There's some good songs on this, but there are some songs that are more filler oriented, but you still have a powerhouse lineup delivering some great melodic rock. I'm hopeful that the new album, which apparently is coming out next year early on, will be even better than Eagle Flight. Quite honestly, their earlier stuff, Rev Saints, back in the mid 20 teens, that's when they were, I think, at their peak. All right, so number 20. Now I have to look at the list, make sure I don't skip ahead. We've got number 19. Now this is kind of a dark horse Dave entry. This is Thomas Lassar and his album From Now On. Kind of quirky, not for everybody. Some would say a little cheesy, but I liked the music. I enjoyed the songwriting on this, and the songs tend to really stick in your head. This goes a little more to the pop end of melodic rock, but again, at number 19, Thomas Lassar. You probably won't see that on too many countdowns. So there you go. At number 18, Uriah Heep, again, going in the opposite direction of the last one. Chaos in Color really sustained me back in the month of January when there wasn't a lot of new stuff coming out that I really liked. These guys put out a great album, technically a classic rock band, so I'm trying to promote more of the newer artists that are out there, and I could have probably substituted something else. There are a couple of things like Midnight City is not on my list, probably should be on my list, but 3 months to get an album, and then when it came out, I was like, okay, I want to get this, and then they're telling me it's not going to be there. This I ordered, and it was in my mailbox the next day, and it's really well done. Chaos in Color. The great Jeff Scott Soto even makes an appearance, both with the songwriting and he lends his vocal talents as well. So again, at number 18, Uriah Heep, Chaos and Color. All right, at number 17, this is a tongue twister. T3 Nors, all right? I'm not in charge of marketing over at Frontiers. The album is called Naked Soul. You got 3 guys who can sing like nobody's business. Robbie LeBlanc is on this, Toby Hitchcock, and the great Kent Hilly, whose solo album, again, for this year deserves an honorable mention. I just couldn't buy everything. I kind of prefer this album over anything else, including the Pride of Lions album that came out this year as well. So again, honorable mention to Pride of Lions and also to Kent Hilly. But this album here, I think, had better material. It was easier on the ears, and I was more engaged. And I think That's because you've got these three guys together, and they're at the top of their game. And smart idea that Frontiers put them together. So again, number 17, we've got T3 Nors. All right. I got through that without saying three tenors. I just did it. All right. Never mind. Okay. So here's a muscular band, Cross Country Driver, The New Truth. They check in at number 16. This is a 70s rock throwback album, but done in kind of a fresh way. Great instrumentation, great guitar work throughout, superb vocals. Could have gotten higher on my chart, quite frankly, but here it is, getting mentioned, and I think that's important for this band because I think they're really good. Cross Country Driver, The New Truth, checking in at number 16. All right, getting to number 15, kind of a late entry to my library, but there are a couple of CDs I got at the very end here to kind of round out the countdown. Houston, Relaunch 3. This is a great band. People need to check out their other stuff. On this album, they are actually covering songs that you probably didn't hear the first time by legendary, sort of obscure AOR artists that either just kind of scratched the surface and got on the charts here or there, or were forgotten about or missed. But the way Houston does things, they're really in their own category. They are just a great band. I'm looking forward to some original material from Houston. This one, Relaunch 3, and most people, they'll think that it's all original, but it's not. All right, just so you know, you can kind of look in there and find out who did the songs originally, and some you might actually know, which I think is kind of cool. But anyway, we're getting into the top 15 now. At number 14, we've got Grand Design and their album Rock. Kudos, because they sent me the CD, so I'll give them a plug for doing that. I told them I would certainly promote the album, and I have. And a lot of patrons like this. If you like Def Leppard and TNT kind of mashed together, the vocalist has a really unique voice. You may not like it, might not be your cup of tea, but I enjoy it because it's different. All right, number 14, Grand Design, another band from Sweden. This list, by the way, is just cluttered. It's probably inappropriate to say littered or cluttered, but a lot of artists from Sweden. They're just doing good stuff. And we continue that streak. I'm pretty sure the lead vocalist of Cry of Dawn is also from Sweden, also with the help of Tommy Denander. This checks in at number 13, Anthropocene. Not the easiest word to say, but a lot of Toto, Foreigner, Survivor kind of stuff going on here, but more, I would say, on the Toto side of things, but really just a good melodic rock album from pretty much start to finish with decent vocals and the guitar playing of Tommy Denander. Tommy is really great. One of the better unheralded musicians out there right now, although in some circles, people know how good he is. So in the United States, maybe not so much. All right, at number 12, this is kind of a surprise entry, but it's Chris Rosender. I had this album early on. It's called The Monster Inside, and this is like Toto with a lot of keyboards, but the songs kind of vary from track to track, but super well-written music tends to get my attention, and this one did that. And kudos just for Chris Rosender, who seems to know what he's doing. The Monster Inside, not the catchiest title, and doesn't look all fun and optimistic, but trust me, go check it out if you have an opportunity. This comes in at number 12 on the top 20 for the year 2023. Can't believe 2023 is almost over. All right, this one comes in at number 11, Ryan and their album Wings, another Swedish band. This is melodic rock. It's a little more muscular. These guys rock a little harder than some of the other things that I've showcased, but still very unique. Really great if you got a pair of headphones on to listen to Ryan. This album cover, too, is just excellent. I just want to put that out there. Album covers always get my attention, and I'm a big fan of this kind of album cover. Okay, I know that's for some people. I mean, compared to the Cry of Dawn album cover, I'll take this 7 days a week and twice on Sunday. So Ryan and their album Wings at number 11. Definitely check that out. That could have been higher on my list. So I'm just pushing the CDs down a little bit so there's not a collapse while we're doing this. Okay, so we've got Ryan. So now we're getting into the top 10, ladies and gentlemen. And this legendary AOR rock band, Care of Night, comes in at number 10. This is Reconnected. These guys, again, have been away for a little while, and they got re-signed to Frontiers Music, of course, and they've put out a gem of an album. They've really upped their game. They're big on these choruses, and the way they do phrasing is very unique. And I'm talking about vocal phrasing. It sticks in your brain. Couple of their songs, there's one of their older songs called Cassandra. You hear it once and you're like, wow. But these guys have put out kind of a masterpiece for Care of Night. So definitely check them out. I know the name, some people are like, Care of Night, what's that? I don't know. But it's good nighttime AOR music. And the nighttime and this kind of music, for some reason, it's become synonymous. Like if you're driving your vintage Camaro, like you got a Z28 and you put the Care of Night CD in there, that would be, or the cassette, but I don't know if they're making cassettes. Probably not. All right, so we are in the top 10, and this time we've got a band called Vitalines. All right, Vitalines with a very Alan Parsons-looking album cover. Another appearance, by the way, of two guys who've already appeared on the countdown. Feel like Casey Kasem. Tommy Denander's guitar work. And Robbie LeBlanc, who is the singer on this project, was also in T3 Nors. Man, I can't believe I said that right. Anyway, Wheels Within Wheels, just a superb album from start to finish. You're looking for some brainy sounding melodic rock with one of the better singers on the planet right here. Vitalines, Robbie LeBlanc. I can't say enough about Robbie. Okay, Robbie, if you're out there, brother, you're one of the best. And you should be making millions of dollars on tour with somebody right now, or in a band. That's the way I feel about Robbie. All right, so at number 8, another Swedish band, an upstart band that kind of came out of nowhere, had a couple of singles out, and holy crap, Batman, Streetlight, Ignition, another just fantastic band from Sweden. And this thing is kind of all over the map. Some of the songs kind of sound like Journey, and then some of the songs sound like Thin Lizzy. I mean, I don't know. I'm just, maybe not Thin Lizzy, but there's this battle. There's one song that's got this edgy, harder rock sound, and then there's this more AOR, sort of lighter rock tendency that happens on this. But really interesting album. Great singer. So check out Streetlight if you haven't. There are a couple of songs that could have been number 1 hit songs here in the United States if we had that kind of format, which apparently we don't. So anyway, crawling up the charts now as we get closer to number 1. My buddy Mitch Malloy comes in at number 7. And yes, he sent me the CD, so thank you, Mitch Malloy. Autographed copy. The last song, I believe this will be the last album that Mitch Malloy makes, maybe as a solo artist, unless he gets into a band or something. I don't know. Just straight ahead, straightforward, great melodic rock. Great production. Mitch Malloy has those old-time instincts. He's been doing this for quite some time. He's kind of considered a classic rock artist at this point. But he definitely made my countdown, obviously. And if you put this on, you're just going to say, wow, where's this kind of music been all my life? And here it is. So the last song by Mitch Malloy. Now, another late entry to my personal collection, but I had to get this album because it's really, really good. and it comes in at number 6. It could have been even higher on the chart. Talking about the Defiance and their album Drive. The Defiance are defiant in the fact that they're still making great music when, the whole industry has gone in a different direction. Former members of the band Danger in the Defiance. And what can I say? I mean, there's a tune on here called 19 Summertime. Could have been the number one song of last summer. It's just fantastic. Drive is the album. And there's your old car, kind of broken down. But these guys have great album covers and even better music inside. So kudos to the Defiance. They're one of the bands that are keeping the legend alive. So we are now getting into the top 5. My CD pile over here is getting almost depleted, which is a good thing because we're going to get to number 1. Here's Mecca and their album Everlasting, the amazing Joe Vanna. If you like Survivor, again, if you like Toto, how much does Toto, Survivor, and Foreigner and Journey just sustain this bunch of CDs I've got here? Tons of great influences here. Joe Vanna is one of the professionals who's still out. He's just really good at what he does. He's got great musical instincts. I think he was mentored by the great Jim Peterick. So here it is, number 5, Joe Vanna and his band Mecca. If you don't own this, you really should. It could have been my number 1. I mean, it's tough to pick a number 1, but Mecca at number 5 with Everlasting. At number 4, now this is a really late entry, but man, is this album good. It's more on the pop 80s melodic rock style, and these guys just, they do it better than anybody out there, I think. The band is called Nitrate. Yeah, family-friendly album cover, but it's called Feel the Heat, and this is just brilliant from start to finish. Incredibly listenable. There are some singles that are out there. Again, imagine your radio in 1985, top 40 station, and they're playing something that's got rock in it. And this has got rock in it, but I can hear like dance remixes in my brain, like 12-inch singles that I used to lug around. This here could have been my number 1. Feel the Heat. Just got it delivered the other day, and I'm thankful because it's great music, and it's running right up the charts at number 4. All right, at number 3, again, kind of a late entry to my collection, but this thing is just roaring. Okay, sorry about that. The band is called Attack, and the album is 9 Lives. Now, if you put this on, you're going to think you're listening to either vintage Bad Company or Deep Purple from the 80s into the early 90s, like the Joe Lynn Turner era of Deep Purple, or just it's got those two elements together, and it's spectacular. I mean, the production value, the songwriting. There are several songs on this that I've just beat into the ground, played it over and over again. And I haven't had the CD for very long, but I listened to it once, I don't know, using Spotify or whatever, and I was hooked. So again, if you want something that's a little more bluesy, lots of old school keyboard work here, this is an album to get. It's for serious rock fans, all right? So again, at number 3, Attack and 9 Lives. And that courtesy of Escape Music. Escape always has something that I'm going to love. And they have more stuff out there. It's just, for me, I can't buy everything they put out. All right, so Michael Thompson Band at number 2. This could have easily been my number 1. It was number 1 early on for me during this year. It's called The Love Goes On, and this is perfectly produced melodic rock, kind of leans a little adult contemporary, just spectacular songwriting. Almost all of these songs are radio friendly, and it's embarrassing that American radio stations, and radio stations around the world for that matter, don't care. They don't care. This album comes out and it's like, oh. Now, it would be nice if somebody ran around and just gave these out somewhere to people so they would get exposed to the music, or maybe somebody called some radio stations and said, hey, we've got this song from the Michael Thompson Band. We think it could fit your format. I don't know what needs to be done, but this, you need to go and listen to The Love Goes On. I mean, this was a surprise, sort of out of the blue. Their original singer, I believe, came back, which was kind of a big deal for MTV. They've been around since the 80s, so a lot of people don't know even who they are, but this deserves your attention. Michael Thompson Band. Now, at number one, I'm sure nobody is going to be surprised with my number one because I've been talking about it now for a couple of months, and it's this, Voyage and Inception. Holy crap, Batman. This is the album Journey should have made, okay? And they never made it. And I'm saying post Trial by Fire, this thing from start to finish, and I mean that more than when I say these albums over here are good from start to finish. This thing here is superb from start to finish. The opening track, which is an instrumental track all the way through to the end. Radio singles galore on this. Hugo Valenti just sounding amazing. Just really surprising how good this came out. I knew it was going to be a great album, and it's a great concept. Journey's Freedom album, which came out, a couple of years ago now, a year and a half ago. This is way better. And I have Freedom, and I love Journey, but this is the way albums used to be made, and the songwriting is what's really surprising, as Hugo has written some breathtaking songs, softer songs. Again, if you want to hear kind of like Steve Perry, close as you can get, and songs that Steve Perry could have written, maybe with the help of Randy Goodrum or somebody, but this is just spectacular. That's my number one by far, actually, is Voyage and Inception. Now, I did want to mention one more album that didn't make my list, but I have said this here, Quintessential by Quint Starkey. I wanted to mention this because if you like more adult contemporary or yacht rock or whatever you want to call it, this thing is mind-blowing. I got this probably back in June or July, and I had a few days to listen to it. I wasn't feeling too well. I remember when it showed up in the mail, and I just put it in the CD player, and man, great album. Gets an honorable mention. Not really melodic rock, more, again, adult contemporary, but one great song after another. So there you have it, the 2023 top 20 from the melodic rock world. You should check out these albums. If we want to keep this going, we've got to spread the word. We've got to listen to it. We got to talk about it, because if we don't, this stuff is, going away, or it's going to be lower quality. Certainly, I'd like to see this stuff make a comeback on a new radio format, like a kind of like a yesterday and today format. And there are some internet stations that do that, but quite frankly, it's up to terrestrial radio to maybe change their ways, maybe even Sirius XM, like the new Melodic Rock channel. There's so much of this stuff, and there's a whole bunch of stuff I didn't put on this list. Midnight City came out with a spectacular album. It was just really hard to get that album, and I know I could have probably ordered it 3 months ago. I would have had it, but in any event, folks, thanks for watching, and spread this video around. Also, please subscribe to the channel. It's important that I continue to grow as a channel, and revenue is way down. So whatever you can do as far as support, whether it's $1 a month or $2 a month over on Patreon. YouTube members are going to get to see this video before everyone else gets to see it. And that's a perk if you join and become a YouTube member. And I just want to say, God bless everyone. I hope everyone has a happy new year, prosperous new year, and a peaceful new year.